let's talk about discipline. This is one of the most difficult areas to coach young leaders at My Life Matters. But discipline is the difference between a great small group, a great My Life Matters experience, and a chaotic, frustrating, relationship-breaking, ineffective small group and My Life Matters experience. It's the difference a lot of times. Discipline, how you approach it, how you administer, how you follow up after discipline. So I want to give a few principles and examples to help you as you teach kids and as you give discipline to those kids. The very first principle is that your discipline, as you discipline children, should always flow from relationship. Always. At My Life Matters, we have small groups, we have rules, and we have rewards, and we have strikes, and sometimes it's hard to know, when do I give a strike, The first strike counts as a warning, there's no real punishment associated with it, it's just a warning, stop breaking that particular rule. And it's really important that you take advantage of that warning moment to establish your relationship. If you've just met a kid, you don't need to give them strikes until you know who they are, until they know who you are. For years I helped, sort of police behavior in the drop-in center in the warehouse, and one of the rules was no profanity. And I'd have hulking 18, 19-year-old boys who, they might get their shot blocked and they would let out a string of curses. And so I was always wondering, what's the most effective way to handle that? Our standard punishment was push-ups. So what I learned was most effective if it was a student that I didn't know, I would walk over and say, "Hey, I'm Andrew, what's your name?" And they're sort of in the middle of a game, they say, I don't know, Toby. It's like, "Hey Toby, one of the rules you signed when you came in said no profanity, no cursing, and I wanted to remind you of that rule, let you know part of my job is to just help keep a good environment in here, so if I hear that again, I'm going to give you 20 push-ups to do." I would give them a little bit of grace while I built the relationship. If a student knows who you are, they know where you're coming from, and more importantly, they know you know who they are. You know their name. You wondered and asked about how their day went. You were able to get involved in their life a little bit. They're much more willing to receive from you. And this is a principle that is very important to remember. A student that obviously needs discipline is a student that obviously needs relationship. So, work on that relationship with them even as you hand out discipline. It could be as simple as, "Hey, I'm so-and-so. What's your name?" Great, now we have a relationship. That's the very tip of the iceberg, but all discipline should flow from relationship. If you don't have one with them, start it then, right at the moment of discipline.